Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode, we're not going to check out just one local fish shop, but two. Technically, they're under the same brand, but you can see where Keysborough Aquarium are expanding and heading into the future. Alright, thank you for joining me on another episode of Parker's Reefs, and as mentioned in the intro, we're going to check out both K1 and K2 of Keysborough Aquarium. K2 was just almost at the point where it's ready to open up now, and I'll give you a bit of a flavour as to what's going on there, but you can rest assured that Keysborough K1, their original store, has an incredible range of both freshwater and marine, and in fact, despite being a salty old reefer myself, I was absolutely blown away by the plants and the way that the freshwater section of this store was presented. So I'm really excited to share that with you as well as all of the incredible marine life. So let's jump on into the video. Alright, here we are at Keysborough Aquarium, funnily enough in Keysborough. Now this is K1, the original store, so it's the original, it's the one that's still operating as per normal at the moment, and you're greeted with these freshwater tanks the moment you walk in the door, and a nice little trademark that you'll see throughout the shop are these freshwater plants just draped across all of the aquariums and walls. It really makes it feel like you're walking into a jungle, and once you come around the corner and you see some of these plants here, and we'll check out the paladarium in a second, you really do feel like you're in a jungle. This tank here, or paladarium, I guess, is one of the trademarks of K1 Keysborough, and you can see why. The team just have this incredible, huge number of plants just growing up and out of this tank, and you got these gorgeous little array of freshwater fish in there, just giving it some movement as well, and it's just a beautiful example of what can be done. And if I'm being honest, it honestly makes me want to replicate one of these on a much smaller scale on my desk at home, which, for all those freshwater keepers out there, that's not something I'll admit all that often, so it's a huge tip of the cap to Keysborough. Now, as you pan across the store, you'll see a huge range of dry goods, from supplements to foods to pumps. You name it, the team here have got it, but you even see a little freshwater kessel on that tank there. But let's check out this display tank here. I believe this one might be a Red Sea Peninsula, and it's got a huge number of fish in here, some big fish in there, including this Desjardini, that copper band. You can see a purple tang. There's a couple of blue tangs, including a really big one. Some lovely big leather corals in there, and some zoas, some candy canes I can see there. Looks like we've got some Red Sea gyre pumps there making the water flow, which is doing a very good job of. There's quite a lot of flow on this tank. There's a nice clam on this side. Unfortunately, that huge leather looked like it was shedding on this day that we were in there. I would love to see that with all its polyps out. But one thing that Keysborough is absolutely known for is that they are the Australian distributor for Sanking flow colour, and as a result, you expect to see the full range of Sanking flow colour in store. And here you can see their brand new probe holder, inline probe holder and inline dosing holder, which allows you to plumb that into, say, your return line and hook up your probes or your dosing outlets there, and gives you the ability to keep that all neat and tidy. Of course, they've got all the fittings and things as well, but for best visual appeal, let's enter the marine room and have a look at what they've got in here, because they've got some more display tanks in here, and whilst these nanos are small, they're nanos nonetheless. I absolutely love them. This first one here is a bit more basic with some soft corals and some macro algae, a couple of clowns and a couple of cardinals in there. Check out this one in the middle here with a Gonipora island just overflowing with some gorgeous, gorgeous corals in there. Little six-line wrasse with some damsels in there. It's got this incredible deshi down on the base there, including some nice ricks, scollies, cynarias, a huge blasto. You can see nice turbinaras there, some acan frags. But got to be honest, those gonies steal the show. I even like this little gold samacora, and some more gonies and a nice big red cap just growing off the frag rack on the side there, taking advantage of every single square inch of real estate in that tank. And then last but not least is this little nano here with a Kessel A80. It looks like a Seacam power filter there, and a little skimmer that I'm not sure on the brand. It's just a Euphilia garden. Well, I say just, it's got some hammers, got some torches, does still have some blastos. And then you come across the full range of marine supplements that they have here at K1, from the Fauna Marine range, into the Continuum range, and I have to admit, I didn't realize Continuum made this many products. The team here have got them all. I guess when you look at KH Buffer there, they come in a few different sizes. They come in powders, they come in liquids, and when you carry every single one of them, that line adds up pretty quickly. So they've got quite a bit there. The dry goods continue up onto the shelf. You can see the Red Sea LEDs, looks like the LED brackets. We got Kessels, we got the Seachem tidal power filters. We got some tanks with the Seachem tidal power filters. We've got some skimmers, all sorts of stuff. But let's have a look at some of the livestock, and we'll jump in first to this coral bay in the middle of the marine room first, because there's some very, very good affordable corals in here. We're starting off with some euphyllias here, some really nice ultra hammers and frog spawns. Coming then into some gonies. Check out this, assorted goni frags, and they're nice ones. $15 each. What an absolute steal. Now, obviously, the corals aren't all that cheap. They go up a little bit. Some of these goni frags here go up to $40, and they're $65 each, but still very, very affordable considering how bright their colors are. Moving across into this next tank here, we've got some soft corals at $85. Always nice to see soft corals because personally I find there's a huge market for them, and they often get overlooked by shops. So seeing this really good range of soft corals for particularly beginners or just people wanting to have a soft coral tank to pick from is a very nice touch. Moving across into our non-ultra hammers, check this out, small hammers, $50 each. That's $50 Australian, and when I say they're small, I don't mean a tiny little single head. Some of those were 3-4 heads big, quite a good deal. Coming on over to some frags here, we've got all sorts in there, from some Samacoras to leptos and gonies and things, and now into our live rock tank. Now the live rock here is $22 a kilo, and have a look at the range you've got to pick from. You can see all of the rock there, have a good poke through it, see which one's going to work for your scape. Got the Red Sea supplements here, all of their coral nutritions and Nopox and all of those bits and pieces that one could want. There's even, I just noticed there, a little mangrove at the end of the live rock tank. All sorts of treasures hidden away in here in the marine room. It's pretty tight, but there's lots to take in. Coming across to the other side of that tank, I can see some deshies, some cynarias, a nice elegance. In fact, quite a few elegance there, talking $45 Australian each, very affordable. $75 on these frog spawns, also seems very well priced. And then into the small ones at $45 Australian. So I guess we're talking around about $30 US for a frog spawn there, guys. Hope that doesn't make too many of my American viewers cry, because that's a great price. And then we come down into the final end of the tank here. We've got some higher end pieces. We've got some gonies there. Get some really nice colors out of those guys there. Coming across, and we'll check out the next coral bay, which is along the wall here. We've got some Favias in there, looks like some Rhodactis. I can see sun coral up there. A couple of really nice chalice. Looks like some Aussie war corals. We've got some red morphs there at $20 a head. Into the next tank here, we've got some acans, some Trachyphilias, some Scollies. That ultra acan there, I just could not quite get the colors on camera, but it was an absolute ripper, and a nice size too for $135. That Trachy up the back is gorgeous. You can see the A-grade Scully at $160. Again, another one the colours just didn't quite come up right with. And then this poor little guy over here, the Ultra Bubble Coral. Beautiful coral, but looks like he's picked off a foxface that wasn't doing so well. So probably explains why his colours are so good, because he's having a great fresh feed. We've got monsoon frags here. You'll see these across a number of shops in Australia, and they're always beautiful coloured, well encrusted pieces, and at $30 a piece, you can't go too wrong. Always a great assortment to pick from. We've got some nice torch frags in the back there. We've got some more of the monsoon frags here. These ones, the select ones, at $65 each, so that's some of their premium ranges. And they look absolutely gorgeous as well, particularly for the money. And then we're coming into some heliofungias here. Have a look at the size of these bad boys. $155 each for some big guys. I'm talking a good foot in diameter, I'm going to estimate, if not maybe 10 inches. Absolutely gigantic. Come across here and we've got a bit of a clown harem going on there. All right, now into an invert tank here. You can see the prices here. We've got abalones, snails, sand-sifting stars, red stars, strombus, you name it, there's all sorts in this tank. There's also a bicolor blenny in there, just keeping them all honest, but you've got plenty of snails to pick from there, which is always good when someone is looking for a cleanup crew, and well priced at that too. Coming across here, we've got a little bit more of an assortment of some fish with a few stars as well. Well, it looks a few sand sifters in there. We've got some damsels, we've got some blue-green chromis. Up the top here, we've got some more damsels, little fox face there. Look like we've got a bicolor angel, little one-spot fox face. And let's see what else we can find over here. There's some more fish tanks up here. Oh, these guys, I'm not sure what they are. They look like some sort of barred damsel. Let's go with that. We got some Roland damsels down here at 22 bucks a piece. Not a fish I see all that often. I'm going to assume fairly aggressive like most damsels, but they're a nice little variant with that white and black coloration. Got a beautiful clown trigger there with a fox face. Another fish that I did say in a previous video that I haven't seen a lot of lately, but that's the second one I've seen recently. We've got some blue tangs there, got another fox face, and that pretty well sees out our marine room. But before we finish up here, let's have a look at some of the freshwater stuff, because like I said, despite being a salty old reefer, these freshwater scapes, I'm going to call them, or terrariums, paladariums, however they're pronounced, really, really cool. I love these plants here. They're reminding me back of some old school movies of some people eating plants, but all sorts of bits and pieces in here. We've got a predator room in the back here, which is a freshwater predator room. I'm going to be the first one to say I don't know the name of any of these fish, but I wanted to give you a quick overview so you could see that they do carry these fish there. If you want to check it out, be sure to head in store and see the full range. There is another section of this store I absolutely have to show you. This is the freshwater room. And like I said, I don't know freshwater fish at all, but how cool does this look with this vine just almost taking over this room? It just really gives this room just a splash of color, and I'm sure the CO2 absorbent properties of these plants are not hurting these tanks at all. In fact, they'd be doing a world of good, giving this room plenty of fresh oxygen, which is kind of the name of the game in a closed ecosystem. But have a look at the huge range of freshwater fish here. Like I said, I'm not going to pretend to tell you what any of them are because I don't know, but a huge assortment of available fish. So if you are a freshwater person, you know where you need to go to check this out, because the rows and rows of fish here would keep you busy for a long, long time. And if not, I mean, just check out these plants. That one's even dipping into the tanks there. Unbelievable. The last freshwater fish I'll show you are these little ones here. These guys have spawned whilst in the tank. How cool is that, seeing some fry in the tanks while they're waiting to be sold? It's pretty cool. But before we wrap this video up, I just want to take you down to K2. Like I said, it's not quite open yet, but the team are setting it up. And it's going to be a bit of a different feel. It looks like we're going to go for a bit of a, I guess you're going to say maybe warehouse, for lack of better words, style approach, where all of your aquascaping gear and essentials are here. Got a huge assortment of different types of rocks and soils and sands, all in easy to access tubs, so you can grab some of these components out, come over to the table and start scaping away at working on your magic scape. And the assortment is really quite good. You can see we've got some nice freshwater vines there. There are some products as well, but here's the bench I was talking about where you can then work on scaping. We've got some of these new shapes here of the artificial marine rocks, but of course it doesn't just have to be marine. And then over in these tubs here, we've got different sands and gravels and soils. Simple to scoop out as much as you need. I'm assuming there'll be some bags or something there that you can just load them up, and then you pay per kilo. Quite a nice little factor, or a nice little feature, I guess I should say. Before we leave K2, I just want to give you a little bit more of an overview of some of the plumbing options from Sanking Flow Color, which, like I said, Keysborough are the distributors in Australia for. Have a look at this range of taps here, from 3 inch on the left to 3/4 inch on the right. But check out the full range of the Sanking Flow Color options here, including soft silicone hosing, which is always good. Sometimes better to use that instead of vinyl. We've got all these nice unions down here. We've got some nice sweeping elbows there. We've got those probe holders and dosing line inline ones I told you about, various elbows. Got those soft flex hoses. We've got the different colors of flow color piping. We've even got the clear fittings there, so you can do clear elbows, T's, check valves. We've got the basic white here, including these pieces which will allow you to set that egg crate up so you can create some little segmented areas in your tanks. Check out the clear pieces there. This little outlet there looks pretty crazy. It looks like you could tee into that. I'm not sure what you would do with that, but if you wanted to, you can. And over on the other side here, we've got the sort of lock line equivalent. We've got those nice little intake grills. We've got the nice little 1/4 inch quick connect fittings, some more adapters and things there from barb into DIN style plumbing. Over here, we've got some pretty crazy looking all thread and some overflows, some super thin overflows there for different size tanks. Check out this little wire piece. I'm assuming that's is that a filter or a check valve? This is a flow meter here designed for like UV installation, things like that. You got the standard range of grey fittings there, and if we take a look over behind me in the counter, you can see a full assortment of all those different types of valves there. So we've got true union valves there with different coloured handles in all the different types of sizes. By now, you're probably getting the idea. If you want to check out the full range of Sanking flow colour, be sure to check out the catalogue linked in the description below. All right, guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the K1 and K2 video. If you've got any questions for myself or the Keysborough team, feel free to pop it in the comment section down below. I personally reply to each and every comment on there, so it is the best way to get hold of me. Other than that, guys, till next time, stay safe and keep reefing. Thank you. Bye.